I'm Ariel, she's Saumya and Hema. We are pursuing a bachelor's in biomedical engineering at Sri Ramakrishna Engineering College, Coimbatore. And now we are going to present our final year project, Audiovisual Entrainment Acupressure Therapy for Insomnia. It mainly combines the audiovisual entrainment and acupressure concepts for which we are using for treatment of insomnia. So I think most of you know what is insomnia. Insomnia is the sleep disorder in which a person lacks sleep. In this one, we are using acupressure therapy, that means acupressure points, mainly B10, GB20 and GB60. And our aim of our project is to design a device that provides a combination of both audiovisual entrainment and acupressure therapy for treatment of insomnia. And objective, normally nowadays they are using sleeping pills for treatment. And of course, we know sleeping pills has got many disadvantages. So in order to overcome that, we are proposing this device.
Yeah, so as Maria pointed out, insomnia is basically a sleeping disorder. So a person is not able to sleep. And this can be due to various causes like underlying metabolic syndromes. People suffering from diseases will have insomnia as a side effect of their disease. But in today's stress-filled world, insomnia does occur due to stress. And as a result, 48% of adults suffer from insomnia, according to the World Sleep Foundation. The primary treatment for insomnia is sleeping pills. That would be benzodiazepines. And they cause suppression of the sleep cycle. So you know how our body has a sleep cycle where there's various stages? It'll suppress certain stages of the sleep cycle. And so a person will have difficulty falling asleep on their own. Like, they'll become dependent on the pills. And after a point, they won't be able to fall asleep naturally without the use of the pills. So we wanted to overcome that by designing a device that that's non-invasive. So it doesn't interfere with the human body. It's just something that will assist you to get to sleep, and eventually the person will learn to fall asleep on their own. And yeah, we used acupressure and audiovisual entrainment. So these are a few of the sources, a few of the papers that we used for, and the points that we considered from them. But we studied a lot more papers. These are just the main ones. So one of them was effects of acupuncture therapy on insomnia. Acupuncture and acupressure are literally the same concept. It's just one of them involves using needles and the other is just application of pressure. But the points are essentially the same. So yeah, from that we inferred that they do use acupressure to treat insomnia, acupuncture to treat insomnia. So we figured we could use acupressure to the same effect. And then yeah, in acupuncture for treatment of insomnia, in the beginning, they'd done a detailed review as to the harmful side effects of medications, and they'd compared that with a study of treatment with acupressure versus treatment with medication. So we found that really useful. And then there was another paper about a totally different concept called audiovisual entrainment, which I'll tell you about. Next slide. Yeah, so these are the existing systems. Like, there are some systems available today that use a concept called audio-visual entrainment. I will come to that. The existing systems use strong electrical impulses of high voltage, and we read a few reviews of such products that are available online. And a lot of the people were complaining of problems like pain in the nerves after some time, and some people couldn't use their arms for a while or something, like temporary paralysis, and we didn't want problems like that. So we're using a system based on acupressure, so it's just going to be continuous application of pressure. It's not going to be electrical impulses. And yeah, when I come to our concept of audiovisual entrainment, I will explain about how it synchronizes with your brain waves to induce sleep. It sort of tricks your brain into thinking that it's got to fall asleep now. So that's what we're doing here. And this doesn't really exist in the current audiovisual systems. And because we're using both acupressure as well as the audiovisual entrainment, it induces relaxation of muscles as well. So if you could move to the next slide. Yeah, so this is just a little slide, but I will explain. Audio-visual entrainment is basically, it's based on something called brainwave entrainment, where you apply an external frequency as a stimulus to the brain, and the brain's waves will sort of alter themselves to mimic that frequency. So audio-visual entrainment, it's a subset of this. It uses stimuli like flashes of light and pulses of tones, and this guides this brain into states of brainwave activity. It isn't conventional medicine. It's a form of alternative medicine, but it has been used. It is used for treatment of insomnia and for people with ADHD, but we wanted to combine it with acupressure and see the effects that it has. So that's one of our vital concepts in this project. So this is the overall block diagram of our project. So you have the person there. And can you go to the previous slide? Yeah, so if you see that girl there with the headset and the glasses, that's what it's going to look like. And we're also going to have a vibrator at the back. I'll come to that later, but this is sort of what our device is going to look like. And yeah, so the overall block diagram, we're biomedical engineers, so we do study a bit of instrumentation. I know this is a bit aside from the topic, but we've got a power supply and an embedded unit. So this unit, we use a microcontroller to control the three impulses that we're giving. So we'll have an audio unit, which will provide the frequencies to the brain, and a visual unit that'll provide the visual stimuli, the flashes of light, and an acupressure unit, which it will have vibrators, and it'll provide a continuous vibration in such a way that it doesn't hurt the patient. It'll stimulate the acupressure points such that it induces the acupressure points associated with sleep, and it'll give continuous pressure there. So the person will have stimuli from all regions to fall asleep. And yeah, those are the microcontrollers basically to control it. So if you have everything at once, it's going to be disturbing more than letting you fall asleep. So we're going to have, alternating acupressure and the binaural idea. So so it's not overwhelming. We'll control it. We'll have cycles. Yeah, so the design of the visual unit.
So in the visual unit, we are going to use a SPETS, which consists of LED lights. It's attached to the SPETS. It will produce as a flash of light. So it will control the frequency. Frequency of the LED light is controlled by the timer, and a thin translucent cotton shielding is given. It is used to absorb the excess heat that is produced by the LED light. Then we have used components like timer and resistors, LEDs, and a voltage supply of 9-volt battery is used. So this is the overall visual unit block circuit. And AV unit consists of a headphone and LED.
Yeah, so can you go back? Can you go back to the... So this is just something we tried out in the lab. We had a circuit diagram, and we just used a pair of sunglasses and LED lights to see if it would work out. And the circuit does work. So we're thinking of doing it without the wires, like an external battery, to make it more portable and user-friendly. So this is just like a prototype, our initial prototype. And yeah, the reason we're using red as the color of our LED light is because there's something called melatonin produced by the pineal glands, and it's very associated with the sleep cycle. And according to various sources, we read that any other light, like blue light, will suppress melatonin production, and so we didn't want that to happen. So we're using red light, but that doesn't affect the cycle. Yeah, and these are just the basic specs as of now for our vibrator unit. So if you can move on. Yeah, so this is what our vibrator unit looks like. We consulted 3 different acupressure specialists because we don't learn about that in our course of study. So we went to lots of different people, and we drew up this big tabular column, and there were loads of points. They told us there's points in your wrist, there's points in your back, there's points in your neck that you can stimulate to sleep. And we initially wanted a wristband. We thought it'd be portable, easy, usable. But then online we read like a bunch of reviews about how annoying it is to have a band on your wrist and how people can't fall asleep. So we came across this idea because I don't know, it's a thing I've had when I was little and my mom used to massage my neck. I'd fall asleep almost instantly. So we kind of went with this idea. And yeah, this is just an overview of what we're doing. So we've already explained that. These are the points that we're using. The points, after all that, whittling down, we came down to GV16, GB20, and B10. GV16 is governing vessel 16, and it's situated, as you can see from the diagram. And we read that it causes calming down, and it's often used for people with nightmares. So it calms you down. And GB20 and B10 are, although it's gallbladder and bladder, it's actually associated with rest, relaxation, and sleep. So that's why we picked these points. And this is a model, an AutoCAD model of our complete prototype. So you can see the vibrator at the back, the headphones, and the eyepiece. So yeah, that's it.
And regarding your audio-visual aid, I have a very basic question. So to keep on going to the level of the sleep, if you have the state to be added on, and this continuous vibration won't it cause any disturbances to
So we give it in cycles.
Yeah.
So specify the time limit.
Yeah, but
That is very important.
We're still doing it.
Okay.
We haven't got our prototype out yet because we're having a bit of a problem with the frequencies, the binaural beats. So once we do that, we will test it because our college is associated with the hospital. So we will test it out on patients and we'll see how they respond. And according to that, we'll program the microcontroller such that it stops the intervals.
All the best.
Thank you.
There is a special insomnia point between G20 and the point behind the ear.
Okay.
That is most commonly used.
Oh.
GB6.
We use GB16, GB20, and B10.
Commonly used anyway.
Oh. Because we wanted 3
The
people.
most point is insomnia point. Then there is another thing used called stud needles. They're tiny needles.
Okay.
We can throw. There is another point in the ear,
Uh-huh.
segment, which is most important, which is very commonly used for insomnia. So stud needles, it's got a tiny needle,
Okay.
and you can put it there and cover with the, your band-aid or something. They come actually ready-made. You can put it there and put it here.
Needles are a bit, I think not as user-friendly as pressure.
Now, what I'm talking about is, you don't even feel it.
Okay.
1 8-inch long needle.
Okay.
How much you feel?
I'm not
One
sure.
is 1/8 of an inch.
Okay.
Hardly any needle. But because they are there all the time and they help them. That's why they use that. Again, this point is also used from
But we can't use it for this.
I know that's why I didn't say that. But I'm checking it generally.
Oh, we'd love to hear about more points that we could use because if we could use a vibrator over here or something, it might help.
What I'm saying is, on this point, insomnia point is the end.
Okay.
But I will not use it.
Thank you.
Do you explain any concept like how do your audiovisual entertainment will induce sleep? Do you have any concept?
Yeah, we do. It's actually a proven concept. It already exists theoretically. It is such that you apply an external frequency to the brain, and there's 2 frequencies in each ear. So if you go back to our specifications, yeah. The frequencies over there, 8.6 and 9.8 hertz. So the difference between those frequencies is 1.2 hertz. And the brain waves associated with sleeping are the delta waves. And those have a range of 0.4 to 4 hertz. So 1.2 lies within that range. So it stimulates the delta region. So you can use this concept to stimulate any region, alpha, beta, theta, whatever you like. But because delta is strongly associated with sleep, we're focusing on delta. What other way do you mean? Yeah, visual stimulus is also proven to.
We're combining both techniques, both acupressure and both Mine both.
The use of visual and auditory stimulus is that it will excite the retinal cells and the cells in the cilia of the eyes, and they will all give action potentials to this thalamus, and that induces a relaxed state, according to what we read.
I fail to understand what is the objective of your study. So this type of machines that you have shown, so I am a layman, new in the street.
Okay.
I do have insomnia. Do you think that I purchase this one?
We are working on that. We can make it into low.
Yeah, because it's so much better than the sleeping pills.
So as you have told that when you don't fell asleep, then mom massages here. So my mom is not there, but I asked my daughter to do that same thing. So I should have gone for your machines.
But
book which is very boring.
No, sir, this is a scientific project they have put forward, and it will be put for a trial after a completion of their project. So we should appreciate their effort.
Will it be useful for the
Yeah, that only after a trial we will come to know whether it is a failure or a positive thing. We will come to know only after the trial. And whatever they have done, this effort they have done, we should appreciate them. These are all young scientists, so we should. They need more recognition.
thank you very much.
How long do you have to do this? I mean, is it after you've fallen asleep you can stop it, or
Timing.
does it
Time
it
period.
can also become addictive?
Uh,
I think so.
but even if it is, I don't think it'll have side effects as bad as sleeping pills.
That's correct. But you can also reach a point that when you can't fall asleep without this.
Oh.
The points you have selected, I really appreciate because you took GB20 and B10. These are the most important points for body regulation. One is to regulate sympathetic system, the other is to regulate parasympathetic system. If during sleeping, the sympathetic system will be less, parasympathetic system will go on. So, really congratulate you took these 2 points. But according to you, there are in the body many lot of points, sleeping points. But the points I really congratulate because these are the points to regulate our sympathetic and parasympathetic system. That is one point. The second thing is GB. All the GB points on the head, it's a midline points. If you have stress, we can take the GB points. So the selection of 3 points, really excellent. It's according to my Ayurvedic knowledge, acupuncture knowledge. But there are a lot of other points to bring sleep on these things. But these 3 points to regulate your stress situation and also equalizes sympathetic and parasympathetic process.
Thank you very much. We weren't aware of that, so thanks a lot.
This is my suggestion regarding your unit you have, that is made it. That is, you are using the LED, right? So the color of the lights red you have been using. Why specifically it has been seems to be red light is not conducive to go for that of the sleep. People always say it's
No,
better to
actually
have a
it is.
blue or something like that.
No,
So what
they use
specific-
blue light in the daytime.
Hmm.
But the thing is, it's regarding the suppression of melatonin
Is it
production.
mandatory to have a light that is not when you're using in that of the night time?
It is a light would be preferred for the audio-visual entrainment concept because we really wanted to try the pulses of light as well as the frequencies.
To enhance the frequency, you're using the light?
Yeah.
That's good. Right.
If it were to not work out, we would definitely remove that component.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you for your excellent presentation.
Thank you for all your
Rules and,
suggestions.